It's me. I'm back. I am going to be doing day 14 today of Advent of Code. Um, Trying to get it in on my lunch break. Let's get going. Throw myself into the corner. Read the prompt. Let's actually make this bigger so people can see it. All right. Pressure. Gonna make the submarine stronger. A template and a list of pair insertion rules. All right, so it looks like this would be the template and this would be pair insertion rules. So AB to C means that when elements A and B are immediately adjacent, element C should be inserted between them. Okay. These insertions all happen simultaneously. Okay, so I mean that means that if you've got A, B, B, it's not like you do A, C, B, and then have to deal with A and C and B right away. That makes sense. C is inserted, B, H, and then we're left with, okay. So it's basically going to nearly double every time, with the exception of like 1 on the end. After 10 steps, it is 3,000 characters in length. Okay, so this is going to be kind of a pain in the butt, right, to iterate over. We got to count the number of times things occur. Most common element, the least common element to get our answer. Okay, so assuming that this doubles every time, let's look at our puzzle input. Ooh, okay, so this is already, what do we got here? About 5, 10, 15, 20, about 20 in length. So we would double it basically like 3 more times here to have about 6,000, 12,000, 24,000. Okay. I mean, so that's not a lot, I suppose, to go through 24,000, but we're going to have to do it a ton of times. We're going to be making like a key anyways, right? Where we have, or a map anyways, I'm guessing, where we have the key be the value that we're looking at and then the one that we insert. So as we say we were going to do one string, we would iterate down the line, grab the 2. And we maybe make a new line, right? Or make a new. So it would be, what it would be? It would be a slice, right? We'd make the new slice. We would take the first 2 characters, add the first one, and then like the result here in the second position. And then we'd shift down, add that first one, and then the result, and so on and so on until we got to the very end, in which case we're always just going to add, B at the end. Nothing's going to get in the way of that. So that's what we would do if we had an array. I'm wondering, and then at the very end we have to go through and count everything. We can do that. I guess I'm a little bit concerned about the length of the array and how often we'll have to iterate through it. how often we'll have to iterate through it, and the counting, and then what sort of position we're going to put ourselves in for part 2 that we're not going to be able to like do this in the same way. So what I'm wondering is if I could make a map with the key values being sort of each of the 2 characters here. So NN, NC, CB, right? Iterate through that map and say, for example, NN, where's NN? NNC. And so what I do with that is I'd say make in a new map, right, the values NC and CN, right? So the 2 values above and below that. Make those 2 values with each of the 2, just sort of like we did with those glowfish or whatever those were, if you remember, where we, put up a generation and then at 0 we split them both to 6 and to 8. I'm thinking we could do that same sort of thing with each of these. And we could do that for every turn. And then what we would have is really a list that would at most be the length of the instructions with numbers on the end of it. The only problem with that being that we would, so that would be easier to pass around. It would be easier to store. It would be at the end easier to iterate through. We just, well, I guess we have to think about how to count them, right? Because we're sort of double counting. I wonder if we had something like CH equals 8, right? There's 8 instances of CH. If we could say, like, keep track of them and to say that means that there's 8 C's and 8 H's, right? And here, say this HH was 5, right? We would say there's 5 H's and 5 more H's. And then what we could do at the very end is sort of divide that by 2. Because we know that we're sort of going to double count everything that's not on the end. So N's going to be counted twice here. C is going to be counted twice. And then what we could do is like add an extra N and an extra B. We could keep track of the first and the last member because they're always going to be on the end as they get pushed out. I think that's going to be more work, but I think that will set us up easier for a potential weird thing in part 2. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me copy part 13 here. Just like the way that I've been going through the inputs in doing part 13. So I'm going to go with it and rename to 14. What do we got? Input test. It's going to be similar here with that sort of starting value and save that test. Maybe we could do a shorter one. I'm going to save that for now. I haven't made it shorter yet, but let's get our input. Oh, I mean, that's a pretty big map, but whatever. It should be easy enough to make it. I guess the question is are we going to want to split these 2 guys into different parts, or are we going to just want to parse I think we'll just parse them as we go. I mean, I guess we could make a struct for the key like VF and make, you know, the two pairs be VN and NV, right? Maybe we'll do that. Either way, let's close out of these. And let's do that. We'll just do that to prove here with the shorter one that we can sort of make that map. Okay. So let's go into our test. Let's comment out part 1 here. We do care about load input, but we're going to go get rid of some of this stuff for first. Let's see. Okay, we don't need to worry about int strings, I don't think. There's no real strings here. The only ints will be ones that we create in our map, so I think we can get rid of this. What we'll make, though, is a struct that is... what do they call it? Polyplan. And what it's going to consist of is the before what can we call those, the two pairs? Pair 1, pair 2, which will both be strings. All right, let's go look at our tests here. Sec. All right. And again, we're looking at the test input short, so it's just going to be the first two. All right, so what do we want? We want input and inserts, we'll call it. Okay, and input result is just going to be, I guess we don't even need an input result, do we? We'll just input, and we want this to just be the string and C B. Though maybe we should make that an array. Do we care if it's an array? think it does need to be an array because we need to like, you know, put the two together. Or should the key just be also an array? Then we don't have to think about it. Well, we'll see. Let's just have it be the string for now. All right, so that should be our input. And then we'll have the, we don't care about inserts. This is going to be the harder one. Insert result is going to be a map with a string, and contained in it is going to be polyplan, and it's going to be a list. No, just one, right? Yeah, just one polyplan. All right, so what do we got here? So the first one is going to be, the string is ch, and the polyplan is going to be, pair 1 is CB, pair 2 is going to be BH. Right? Right. And next one will be HH HN, right? So the first one, then the second one, and then NH. All right. Why is it mad about this? Oh, because I don't use it. Let's use it here. Okay. All right, so you know it's gonna fail. Let's just go and see what the all right. So we have polyplans, which is going to be a map of string containing polyplan. That's going to be the second thing, right? So let's put that there. And then the first one is going to be a string, which is just the initial map, right? And that'll be easy enough. I'll just you know, save that as line 1, right? No, but I have to do it after. What did we call that? In the test. Template. All right, read the file. Plan switch. No, I'm not going to do that this time since it's not like a variable. There's only one line, and then we start the stuff. All right, so data from so what we'll do is template. Oh, we can do this outside of it. Data 0, right? Right, that's a string. Good. That's the first thing we're going to return. All right, so templates out of the way, and then we're going to say for. We're going to iterate with I. And we're going to start on 0, 1, 2, line 2. While line is less than the length of data. Oh, need that. I plus plus. Okay. All right. So we don't need to do any of this stuff anymore. But we do need to transform a little bit what these lines are, right? So let's look at them, make sure that they're all, yeah, they should all be 2 characters and 1 character. So let's just kind of do a fast and dirty. So we need to sort of split those out. I'm going to split them. On the separator space, right? So that's going to have one side and the other side in 2 parts. All right. And we are going to make polyplans key value line array 0, right? So that's the key value. Equals polyplans. We don't have row. Pair 1 equals what's it going to be? I'm just going to call it key split, and I'm going to split Okay, so now this is just those first two, and we're going to make this strings join. No, that's not what I want. So sprint, that'll be key split 0, right? So this is the first one. And line array 1, right? Brackets. Do that. Sprint. All right. So I think this should be key split 0, which is the first thing, and line array 1, which is what's on the other side of the arrow. So in this case, CB. And pair 2 will be line array 1 on this side and key split 1. And I think that's it. We're going to make that, we're going to add that to our template. Yeah. Actually, I take it back, right? We need to make our initial guy right here. So template is going to equal that, and we're going to do a just get to, right? Much. Right. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this map, which is going to be template map with the value of sprint template I. We need to do those values. Template I and template I plus 1. Plus plus. All right. Okay. So we're making that template map. We're returning it. Let's go back to our test. We're going to have to make an input. And just like all of our maps, I'm sure that we're going to have to comment it out, right? Because it's really hard to get these in order. But there's only 1, 2, 3 of them, right? So maybe we'll be able to handle it. All right. All right. So NN, right, is the first one with a value of 1. NC, value of 1. And CB, value of 1. All right, let's go ahead and test it again. Passes. Oh, wow. That feels good. Okay. So what do we have? We have a map with our values in it. Let's go ahead and see if we can take this input result and count sort of the final amounts, right? So let's make a test. Here's a simple one. Uncomment it. We're going to test. So this is going to be sort of how we're going to reconstruct our string at the end. And what we're going to do is we don't care about the inserts here. We do care about the input. We care about the input result. No, we don't care about the input result. We know that we're getting that. But what we want is it to be n is 1 or n is 2. C is 1. B is 1, right? That's what we want the result to be. All right, because we wanted to show that there's 2 of those. Oh, we need something else from our input, don't we? So we need to keep track of the first and last character. You know, I'm just gonna hard code it for now. I'll add some logic in a bit. Let's go ahead and someone's at the front door. Who could be Amazon guy? All right. Ah. In it, we're going to be passing that string map, which is going to be a map of string int. And we're also going to be passing a beginning and end string. And we will be returning, what will be returning? Also a map of okay. So I'm going to make this result map a map of string int and what we're going to do on the first end is beginning 1 and 1. We're just going to pre-populate that with those two, right? Because if we're going to divide it by 2, we would need to like add those on the end so that the division doesn't, it shouldn't be a half, right? Because those don't have a sort of a surrounding pair. All right. So now what we're going to do is loop through that string map for string map. Key value in string map. Okay. So what do we need to do? We need to take the key and the value and yes. What happened? So key is a string, and we're going to split it on nothing. And then we're going to result map with the value key slice 1 or key slice 0 plus equals value, right? That's what we got there. And then we're going to do the same with key slice 1, right? And that should allow us to return result map that contains, oh, we need to cut those in half then, right? For key value in result map, I'm not gonna do any of this. Can I just do that? Let's try it. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm trying to go through and divide each of those by 2. All right, let's go ahead and test it. Oh, because I didn't pass in those strings in my tests. Input, and then, you know, just because I know it, and B. Let's try it again. Oh, it passed. All right. So it's able to calculate when we give it this map what the number of strings are. All right. Now we need to, I think we might be actually ready to testing part 1. All right. We want to get this result here. And I think we want to get 2 more things out of here. We don't care about it here. We do care about it here. What? It's a good thing to test. Let's go back to load input and make sure that we can do this correctly. We're doing it right here. Beginning equals template 0, right? So that should be the beginning character, and should equal TMPL a template and template oh, I'm sorry about that. My code size is hard to make. I'll make it bigger. Is that better? Internet bird. All right. me collapse this down so that we can see more of it. All right. Length template, -1. Good. And then we're also going to want to return that. String, beginning. All right. Now when we do our test, we're going to what line is this? 39. Oh. We still got to comment this out. All right, passes. So that's good. We're able to detect the beginning and the end here. All right, let's go ahead and start working on our part 1 in earnest. Okay. So part 1. Move my keyboard a little bit. What are we going to pass in? We're going to pass in template map, which is a map. String int, right? What else do we need? Template map. What do we call these? Instructions, poly plans. And it is a map of string and plan. And then we have beginning and string. All right, that's a lot. We're only going to return an int. Jeez. All right, let's get cracking. All right, so what do we need to do here? So let's think. We need to make a function. One. All right. Let's see. So what are we going to do? We need a for loop, right? For I equals 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus. All right, this is our 10. Sorry if that was really loud. So this is our 10 times that we're going through the process, right? And each time we're going to need to make, this is something we should probably test. Let's test it. Make a function called, it's not really going to be a function, but it's going to be, you know, the turn, right? And into it we'll pass template map. And polyplans. We just copy these. And in it will return just the template map. All right. All right. So what we're going to do is make a new map. Right, and then for key value in range, template map. What we're going to do is, let's collapse some of these. We're going to, so the key that we have, let's look at this. So in this template map, right, we have basically these, let's look at the test. We have the individual pairs and how many times they occur. What we want to do is take polyplans with that key value, right? So that's going to be like this one right here, right? That's what we're looking for. Right. So new map. Polyplans key pair 1, right? So this is going to equal, I guess a little plus equal value, right? So we're getting a new map, we're placing as the key value that first pair and setting it to the value of the key, right? Because that's the number of times that's going to be created. And then we're going to have to do that with also with pair 2, right? And then we're going to do that the whole time, and we'll return new map. Okay. So before we get too far, let's go ahead and test that. Let's comment this. Comment part 1 out. what did I say? Call that take turn. All right, so in this case, our input will be all right. Our input will be this. That's all we care about, input inserts. And we're going to look at just that first turn, right? It's going to do it just once. And what we want is right, take put input inserts, and we want the result to be let's see, so NC currently right is 1 after 1 turn. NC CN is 1, NB is 1, BC 1, CH is 1, HB. Where do you have HB? HB is 1. And that's what we want the result to be, right? Let's go ahead and test it. Failed, but is it just out of order? Oh, because we only have short. Let's do the full test. That's what I want. Pass. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Yes. So I think we're ready for the final run, right? Let's uncomment out this again. And one moment. Right. So where are we on the main? Okay. Let's pull this down, get a little more visibility. All right. So for that, we're going to template map is going to Okay. So this should cycle through all those times and return us with a map at the end. And then what we're going to do is total letters equals calc string template map, right? I have to pass in the beginning and end, right? Yeah. Template map, beginning, end, right? So now I have the total letters and max equals 0. Min equals the biggest number I can think of that'll fit in this category. And then we're going to say for, you know, I don't think we care about the key. We don't care what the number is. Value in range total letters if value is less than min, sorry, greater than max equals value if less than min and we're subtracting them, right? So return max minus min. All right, let's run it and test it. Passes. Did I uncomment that out? Oh, all right. So now let's slide this over and see about actually running it. I'm going to copy this from test. All right, let's go ahead and run it. Go run main. Go. Oh, it's mad at me. Why is it mad at me? Why is it mad at me? Hmm. 93, 30, 93 calls it. So it's about loading the inputs. And specifically 38. Huh, what's the deal with this? That my problem? Yeah. Okay. Enter at the bottom of return. All right, let's go ahead and try it. 2360. Got it. First gold star. All right, here we go. Part 2. Not nearly strong enough. Total of 40 steps should do it. All right, so that's easy enough. What we need to do is add to our take turn. I'm going to make this smaller. We got to parameterize this beginning and string. Cycles int cycles control save. That should do it. Let's go ahead and look at this. 10 here. Test it again. Did I put that in the wrong place? Oh, down here. Passes. I'm gonna get, what am I gonna